As long as we preach this very gospel, Okike Abiama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, nna anyị nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee by you, because there is none for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy. You are our Lord, our God, Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet. In a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation, the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in this because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have spilled, we have shed blood. They have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you, destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall. You will not allow the enemy to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwu Abiama Benigwe, whiter than white and whiter than snow. Any way that we have sinned, that you cannot forgive our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill God which was spoken, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You mouth Chukwu Okike Abiama to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are caught upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them, and they will worship you in truth. Through this very work we are doing, kind will come to understand. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for fatherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, blood, and one flesh on the ethics and the biblion, the shekiri, the isobos, and them from Isoko. We all these lands of you
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's midwife deliverance for our race, country, and continent. Please share this video. I am Dr. Israel Noyerem Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the US and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational air cover. The Taliban continued to attacks. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the US promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 US trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. US general could not believe an army could crumble at that rate.
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
It is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. There were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern, based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is number 1 on global terrorist list. Nigeria is number 3. Second,
I'm asking a very pertinent question. Is Nigeria working for you? Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, knew the solutions to Boko Haram till he finally became president. He asked ex-President Jonathan to resign because of insecurity. He cried empathetically. He promised to end Boko Haram in 3 months. But now, he's telling us he's done his best to arm the military. Why isn't he resigning? Governor Fashola knew the solutions to providing stable power supply till he became Minister of Power, and darkness pervaded the land. After trying hard and giving excuses like he only plays a supervisory role, the ministry was assigned to someone else. Power grid, still they collapse. The NSAS protests were tagged insurrection. In fact, someone said Aisha Yusufu ought to be in jail for instigating violence. Then farmers were beheaded in Borno. Same person asked Aisha Yusufu to lead a protest. Aren't these people supposed to forbid hypocrisy? Is Nigeria working for any Nigerian today? From leaders hoarding food for the poor, receiving kickbacks from government contracts, to farmers needing permission to go to their farms. Is Nigeria working for you? Why is Zamfara's gold for Zamfara and Niger Delta oil for Nigeria? Why is Hisba destroying alcohol, but their state governments receive federal allocation from monies received via taxation, including tax on alcoholic beverages? Why are some federal roads abandoned to bandits and kidnappers? Who is in charge of Nigeria's security? The president is talking tough this time. Most times, he's as shocked by the rest of us by the absence of good governance under him. Regardless of his campaign promises and the manifesto of his political party, Nigeria has rolled back in terms of development. From Naira continually losing its value to our recently launched locomotive trains breaking down in the middle of nowhere. Nigeria has to be working for some people though. The government can do no wrong. To this set of people, their money isn't being stolen, even if the money is being borrowed, leaving debts for their own children to pay in future. Even if the leaders don't use public institutions, from sending their children to Ivy League schools abroad to getting medical treatment abroad, some people who have nothing and we need to donate money for their medical bills if they have a serious ailment, continue to hail the obvious lack of good governance till Nigeria happens to them. Then they get a little pissed. May Nigeria never happen to you. Say amen. We deserve better than the political class who go home with millions monthly to represent people who can't even afford to feed themselves. I am Olajumoke Alaode James. Nigeria is not working for me. Is Nigeria working for you?
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The herdsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammadu Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the herdsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves. Roots TV, Nigeria.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond, to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Okpa, Biasika, and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in 1 trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know what, the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born, There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who, from their mother's womb, they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it. Farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Good evening, fellow Biafrans. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome to this State of the Nation address today, the 23rd day of June 2022. I have come here today to address Biafrans on some of the stride that the Biafra people have taken in international community. My fellow Biafrans, we are making progress. The title of this particular State of the Nation address today is putting Biafra in the spotlight. Without wasting any of your time, as we continue to search for lasting peace in Africa, in West Africa, in Sahel region, and by extension, the peace that will also affect positively the international community like the West and America and Asia. We, the Biafra people, must exit Nigeria and form another Israel in Africa for global peace. I make bold to tell our international collaborators today that in order to have lasting peace in Sahel region of West Africa, there is a need for a new nation to emerge, a nation that will continue to play the role of the Israel in the Middle East. To achieve this, we have approached the Parliament of Finland and we have presented our case, the Biafra people. We informed the Parliament of Finland that the leading figure and the symbol of the struggle to restore another Israel in Africa, called Biafra, for the freedom of the Biafra people from Nigeria, in the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was and is still the hope of the oppressed people of Biafra, was kidnapped. And because of his thoughts and advocacy for a better life and a better society, and for the freedom of Biafra people from Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. Extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. He was tortured 8 days in Kenya. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu visited Kenya voluntarily. And the Fulani-controlled jihadist government planned him, thereby breaching international law impunity. So we informed the Finnish parliament, as we had a historic meeting on the 22nd day of June 2022. This meeting is going to go down in the history of our freedom. I want to inform the world and the other people who may be joining this particular league to restore one of the most important nation in Africa, or to become. As we speak today, the ethnic cleansing of Christians and the indigenous people in Nigeria by the Fulani jihadist government, and the request to be part of the process of Biafra independent from Nigeria. We have made this request and the Finnish government. We also informed the Finnish parliament and the Finnish government the systematic prosecution and the genocide against Biafra people and Christians by Fulani controlled terrorists and then also official from the Muslim background in the northern Nigeria, as it posed a very serious concern for the entire free world. The Fulani-led federal government is looking for fingers and even sponsoring the violation of human rights and the right of the Igbo Biafrans and other Christians in Nigeria. We also inform them that at no point in time has Nigeria experienced peace in a united so-called Nigeria and built a common future. Has never been any time such thing existed in Nigeria. It has become imperative that this particular message and awareness is being taken among the Committee of Nations. As the so-called Nigeria has been a failed attempt from the beginning. We also informed what I would say has become our international collaborators. Politics and crime across the country called Nigeria has only worsened over decades. The people of Biafra want to renounce this particular establish and then also establish a free democracy with freedom of enterprise, religious tolerance for all, and a directly elected parliament of an independent judiciary, the conscript army, and a system that respect and observance of human rights. We made our presentation to the authorities and they were interested. And people are saying I should refresh, which we are going to do. With multiple attack. We are not going to be moved by the distraction coming from the enemies. I want to inform Biafra people today that we also informed the Finnish parliament and the Finnish government that adopt and ratify every international law. And we started by the United Nations Convention on Human Rights, the Convention on the Right of the Child, and the CRC will be among the first international agreement to be ratified by the Biafra people. Indeed, our demand is to draw the attention of the free world to the Biafra aspiration for independence and the path to an independent state. It has put Biafra in the spotlight in Finnish parliament. And I am very, very optimistic that the Finnish government will once again be part of this history of Biafra independence, just like they did during the Namibia. During the Namibia quest for Finland, almost what led to Namibia independence. And today, Namibia have enjoyed what freedom has to offer. The credit of that goes to the former and the ex-president of Finland in the name of Ahti Saari. It was part of what made him won the Nobel Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. We know that the current government of Finland and the parliament have showed very big interest to know more about what is going on in Nigeria, because the Nigerian government has tried to cage the people, indigenous people in Nigeria, and always use the media to propagate their evil. Today, I want to inform Biafrans that we have broken the jinx. I also cannot help but compare the situation in the Middle East with the crisis between the Israel and the Palestine. You all could remember that the president of Nigeria, each time he goes to the UN General Assembly, he has advocated for the independent state of Palestine. It is on record. If you compare the size of Israel with Biafra and the rest of Nigeria with Palestine, you will be amazed, as is the population of these regions. If Biafra crisis had received at least a third of its attention and the support of the state and their head of state to resolve the situation in the Middle East, Biafra would have probably already been an independent state. That is what we are doing today. The quest for Biafra freedom have now entered a multi-dimensional phase and approach. On behalf of the Biafra people, as their recognized representative and spokesman, in the part of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I, Simon Ekpa, and other Biafra people on the Finnish parliament and the government to tackle the issue of Biafra crisis as a matter of urgency, as a humanitarian crisis duty to prevent that genocide against Biafra people. It's clear that in Europe is limited in its influence, but we call on Nordic and European Union wide intergovernmental cooperation, the Finland government to be part, and the Finland government specifically to be its primus motor. I cannot help also but point out how fruitful basis Finland would provide for negotiations with the future Biafra state on energy supplies, etc. Biafra do not fret their helpers. The Finlandia anthem is still high in Biafra, hence the national anthem of Biafra since the time of the Biafra Civil War with Nigeria. My fellow Biafrans, we have made history. Because we are still at the early stage of this 1,000 miles of journey. Some of the information will remain confidential. I must assure you today, Biafra people, that we are going home. We have made history on the 22nd day of June 2022. And the truth that some evil interest prevented for decades will finally be told. And Finland has given the green light and will lead the truth to the world. Without going further and wasting much of your time, my Biafra people, I want to tell you today that the coming months, the coming weeks will be very interesting. Our hopes are very high as we wait for this particular awareness to take a center stage in international community. We assure Biafra people that in months to come, many groundbreaking progresses will be made and we all updated. We must be resolute. We must be serious. I see Biafra very close. This is no longer a dream. It has become reality. God bless Biafra, and may God bless Finland, and may God bless the people of Finland as we wait for this particular sacrifice to be made for us to have a safer society. We inform them that while we are running helter-skelter looking for helper, do not think that we are just fighting for the survival of Biafra people alone. We are also fighting for the West and America. Because if Nigeria is not disintegrated and Biafra emerge, Nigeria will become the biggest threat to the human existence. When they succeed in capturing all the mineral and natural resources in our land, they are going to be sponsoring attack in West. They will sponsor attack in America. They will have unimaginable and unbelievable resources to attack any part of the world. For this to not happen, every nation in Europe and America and Asia, those who want a global peace, must rise up to build a new Israel in Africa. It is time, and the time is now. May God bless you. May God bless the imagining state, independent state of Biafra. God bless you all. Thank you.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate, And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it. Farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
Shall be our dedication. Speak